Hello, I'm Dominic Barton. I'm the Canadian Ambassador to China. And at the invitation of Consul General Jeff Nankivell, I'm pleased to reach out to members of the Chambers of Commerce in Hong Kong and Macau. I know that many of you are enduring very difficult times as we struggle to deal with the pandemic and the consequent measures that have been put in place in dealing with the pandemic. Many of you have had your lives and livelihoods severely disrupted by this pandemic, and we know it's going to take some time before normalcy returns. But I wanted to be clear in saying that the health and safety of Canadians is our primary focus, and we want to do everything we can to help you in dealing with this. La perturbation de votre vie et de vos projets commerciaux nous concerne. Je veux réitérer que la santé et la sécurité des Canadiens demeurent la première priorité du gouvernement du Canada. As you will no doubt have heard from Jeff and his team, consular services and assistance to Canadian citizens remain available to Canadians in Hong Kong and Macau. If you need assistance, please contact the Consulate General of Canada in Hong Kong. Calls for urgent services are answered 24 hours a day. Coordinates can be found at hongkong.gc.ca and travel.gc.ca. Also on this site you will find the registration of Canadians abroad, a database of Canadians overseas that allows us to contact you and other individuals you designate in case of an emergency. If you've not yet registered, I would urge you to do so. And please keep that information up to date so that we can reach you if we need to get hold of you. The Canadian government is monitoring very closely the developments on COVID-19 and will continue to adapt our travel advice based on scientific evidence and do it in a very timely manner. I also, though, want to assure you that we are also in the Greater China team monitoring the broader developments, which are including the economic impact on Canadian businesses. We value the perspectives of Canadian business stakeholders with interest in Hong Kong and Macau, and are grateful for the work being done by many business groups, including yours, to also assess the impact of the situation. So we appreciate you taking our reach out calls to get a sense of how things are moving and what it is we can do to try and help in any way we can with your businesses. Our trade commissioners continue to be in contact with Canadian businesses to get a more granular understanding of the circumstances that they're facing and to discuss preparations towards an eventual recovery. If your organization is facing urgent issues and requires our assistance, please do get in touch and we will do our best to be of service to you. Once the situation allows, which we hope will be soon, our trade commissioners, as well as Consul General Jeff Nankivell and myself, will work closely with affected Canadian businesses and organizations to support their recovery. I want to reiterate again our appreciation for your comments and insights and want to reassure you that our mission in Hong Kong remains totally committed to supporting Canadians through these challenging times. Allow me to say a few words, if I may, about our work to help Canada fight COVID-19. With the outbreak of the pandemic, the China network of Canadian diplomatic missions has heavily focused on the procurement of personal protective equipment, or what is known as PPE. The Trade Commissioner Service in China and Public Service Procurement Canada have been working to buy quality PPE for use in Canada. We've also been supporting the efforts of provinces and private organizations to meet their needs. Looking at the overall PPE supply for Canada from abroad, it's important to realize the scale of the exercise. Global orders for PPE, including those orders that are coming from China, placed by the Canadian federal government are huge in volume. For example, 154.4 million N95 respirators, 327.5 million surgical masks, 130.2 million gowns, 52.8 million face shields, and I could go on. It's a huge amount of product that we're bringing to Canada from around the world. And China, of course, is a critical source of that. According to some estimates, it accounts for about 70% of global supply. And for Canada, that number is equivalent as well, particularly in the early stages. While we get domestic production of PPE up, China represents a very, very significant part of the PPE supply for the country. Since March, there's been a massive global effort on the part of many national governments to secure new supply of PPE. This surge in demand created a well-documented, what we would call early scramble internationally for product, a wild west, people coming in from all over the place looking for product. We're now past that initial surge, and we're in a new phase where the procurement systems are now actually running, and we can build toward the objective of having a more resilient system to ensure, again, that we are getting timely, high-quality PPE supply for Canadians, the frontline medical workers, but also Canadians in general. More specifically, as of May 6th, the Government of Canada has completed 24 cargo flights. Basically, there's at least one flight going every day. There'll be more than one flight going every day as we look ahead over the next 6 weeks, as we have more and more of the PPE coming on stream going to Canada. Provincial governments have also completed at least 16 cargo flights and also have multiple flights booked going forward. And again, we're working very hard to ensure that we have high quality, reliable supply of PPE for Canada. In closing, I want to thank all of you who've reached out and offered support to Canada. We deeply appreciate it, and we need your help too. We're all going to get through this together. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.